Hello. I just wrote a 16-page scene. Sent it out. Who reads it? Who doesn't read it? I don't know. It's none of my business. But right, it's pretty obvious that, right, if I'm, boom, right there in the front with a press pass, grilling him about that movie, right, he's going to do everything in his power to prevent me from being there because he doesn't want to address why he does what he does. You know, this is the joke that I sent to Armchair Expert, because they interviewed Brad Pitt last year, that like I never expected to end up as like some sort of like crusader for women's rights. It's kind of funny actually, because like I'm very similar to Brad Pitt or any of these assholes. I'm very abrasive. I don't, you know, but I have my vow, right, that right, women are cool, right, like I love women, you know, like yeah, they're so fine, you know, but right. Anyway, this is what the women saw. They saw that I could protect him, you know, that's like, and that they were hot for me, and right, they wanted to make the movie with me. That's, I mean, all the better, you know. But my point is that, you know, that they might have rape babies inside of them, that he is that sick, you know, or he tried to destroy their libido when they refused to make babies with Brad, you know, like that's the point, right? That's why I wrote, you get it? Because in their minds, they were like, God, do I really have to do this? Like with this disgusting old man? And then they saw me and said, oh, bright, radiant angel. Like, yes, like he's so fucking awesome. And then I buried Quentin in it. I gave him so much material, right? In those 2 weeks, right? And it seems pretty obvious now that everyone was like, what exactly does he have to prove to you? Right? 6 minutes of Hamlet. He's written a whole novel. He's a real writer. He's a real actor. It's a movie about a writer, right? Who's an actor, right? Like, what's like... What is he, like, just explain to us, like, what you have to see, what else you have to see. Right, and of course, he has to see that he can manipulate me as a psychic, right? That's the point. Right, and so now, I mean, he's got his connection, you know, like, it's done. And every time I close my eyes to go to sleep, I just say it constantly, Quentin Tarantino should kill himself, Quentin Tarantino should kill himself. Because I know he's listening, I know he can hear, right? Because he's created this psychiatric condition as a result of watching me so much. Right, that's... You know, and it's a terrible way to live, you know, for sure. But his birthday is like right around now, so you know. And again, this is like this is the life that I live. You know, like I'm alone. I'm always alone, and I'm fine with it. You know, I made my vow of sound mind. Right? It's not like I was like in some sort of clinical depression, and it was me like finding peace within myself. You know, but that's like. There it is, right? And so this is what the women all saw. This is what they see. And I know he's wore out. I've just been grinding him to pulp, writing 15,000 words a day, 20,000 words a day. And I know they expect him to read all of it. And so what I'll say about the scene is that I couldn't get the margins right. I only have Google Docs. I don't have Word. And the formatting, it's like, you know, when you're writing, it's like, blah, 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 blah. But I couldn't get the formatting to like, anyway. Everything's in the margins for dialogue. I didn't want to waste any more time on it. I mean, it's not that I wasted time, but... You know? This is about the psychic mind game. This isn't about money. This isn't about getting pussy, right? This is about... Right? This is about showing them, right? This is what you all signed up for. This is, in fact, what you all signed up for. You're just all so goddamn arrogant, you couldn't really appreciate it because he convinced you that there was nothing wrong and he was going to handle it. Right? That if he's unsuccessful, right, then I am... Right, going to, right, blast you with the spotlight of the Almighty, right, with the glaring light of truth, right, and you will not be able to run from it unless you murder me. That's the point. So, right, the movie's dead in the water, dead in the water. No one wants to talk about that film. No one's interested in premiering it, right? I've written every film commission in the world, every film festival in the world, right? And so just so that like we're all on the same page here, that film has first-degree rapes in it, and it's a disgusting human rights violation, right? Oh, so funny. Oh, he thinks they have rape babies in them. What a dumbass. What a dumbass for respecting magic, respecting clairvoyance, right? Isn't it far more mature to say that Quentin's in fact a deeply sick, dangerous man? for abusing this power in such a base way, right? Like he can do whatever he wants, right? Like he can do that sadistic black magic spell of evil. But if those women want out, they have the right to get out. That's the point. That he does. He steps into palpable evil to manipulate them into doing it when they don't want to do it. That's the point. Right? It's not that he did it. I don't care that he did it. Right? But if the reason that he was playing a fucked up mind game with me is because these women know that he expects them to be some sort of ritualistic sacrifice, right? As a monument to his infertility, and direct them into conceiving, right? On a scene that he projects as sexual sadism to 5,000 movie theaters all over the world that compels people to get aroused and actually make babies through getting sexually excited by watching his sadism, knowing that that's a real baby, right? You understand like how dense it is, like how sick it is, right? But when I fucking didn't give him what he wanted, the women said, no, we're not doing it. There's no babies. And number one, right, it's so sick, right? It's like his babies, right? These are children they can never claim in public. That's, right, pretty funny. Oh, so funny. This guy thinks that these women have rape babies. Right? What I'm saying is that they would have had babies if it was me. That's the point. That's the point. And when I cursed their reproductive organs, they said, it's done. It's done. We're doing nothing. We're not doing anything like he's talking about there. Because they're smart. You know, they're not dumb. They're not dumb satanic vessels of psychic evil. That's the point. You know? So I'm struggling with the futility of it all and how much I still love him, you know? How I want us to reconcile still, you know? I don't know. You know? Right, so now that's, just so that we're on the same page, that's 2 novels, right, in as many years. So it was a 16-page scene. Right? So, right, he dismisses my writing, right? This is the point, right? That I buried that whole industry in it. And say, that's what he turned his back on, right? There it is. Right? Oh, so funny. You're all sick degenerates who insulate institutional rape. The California State Film Commission offers $20 million tax credits to make movies that the performers consider to be first-degree rapes. Well, I can't stress this enough, right? I can't stress this enough, right? That if I'm in the same room with Mikey Madison and Sydney Sweeney, right? If the Spawn Ranch girls get tied up and fucked in the movie critic, right? They're going to look me in the eye and say, yes, I never wanted to do it. I wanted you to do it. It was because of us, about your letters, that we were showed your letters. That's what I'm saying right now, right? That the shit that he does to me, right? That he did to them to compel them to sign waivers and NDAs and manipulated them by the sickest, most disgusting evil anyone could practice to get raped on a union film set, to get tied up and violently raped. First degree rape, bound rape, immobile. Can't speak, can't hear, can't move. Right? Why? Right? Because he's broken. He has a genetic deficiency. And so he binds women, right? Because that's the only way he can control them physically, because he cannot conceive children biologically. Right? And so all of this, everything, right? It's him it's his last fuck you to the world to justify, right, being in the world when God made him broken, right? Because he can't make children biologically, right? So he wants to compel as many thousands of people as he can, right? It's going to be the movie critic challenge, like, oh, who's going to fucking impregnate their lady, like getting tied up? You get like how sick this is, right? He's like, yeah, fuck you, God. Like, yeah, I'm not broke. Look at all these fucking babies I made, right? Anyone who's read Plato's Symposium, now, I don't have to say this, right? Like, he espouses it, like, perfectly, right? The children are the only immortality that we know, right? And so this is why he makes movies. Not because he loves movies, right? But because he's addicted to control, because he's genetically deficient and incapable of conceiving children biologically. That's the point, right? And so in his efforts to exact this deeply sadistic black magic evil over the world, right? The women saw a beacon of light in me and said, yep, now I'm excited. He's the one, right? But he couldn't just speak to me, because then he's acknowledging that his feminine side, the thing that he can't control physically, right, is offering something to his intellect that he justifies and gratifies. So he was like subtle for like a few weeks, like thinking that like I would just come there and start beating on the door like an asshole, right? And then he set up this convoluted like system of traps around Tribeca to put me in a golden cage, right? And then when I aborted his magic, he's done nothing but torture the women about it ever since. And it's really disgusting to consider. So, right? Pray for him. He's gone. He's totally gone. All those women are miserable, right? His wife, bang, she wants to kill herself, for sure. She's miserable. Every time she looks at him, she just thinks, she sees me, right? She probably doesn't let him touch her at all. Right? Not because she wants me, right? But she does, right? But not because of the movie, right? Because of what the movie is that I didn't understand, right? That he's exacting ritualistic, sadistic sex scenes upon the world, right? And so that's like, right? Oh, if it's me, and it's like, oh, it's like this young hot guy who's like really sweet and nice and talented, right? Then Daniela can say, oh, he's so wonderful, he's so great, like he made this movie everything, and not feel like a fucking nasty whore. That's the point. Yes, that's like what I'm saying right now. Right? Would she like it if I treated her like a whore? Yeah, because she knows I respect her. That's the point. Quentin doesn't respect women because he cannot conceive children. He's broken biologically. He's broken psychologically. It's really sad when you think about it. It's really sad. You know, this is the same with the women too. They were like, oh, we, you know, like as far as me, like they say, oh no, he made us feel safe and he's so wonderful and he sang songs to us and like all these things, you know, that they saw the movie that I couldn't see because I'm not interested in clairvoyance. You tell me what you want. Right? Oh, you don't want to tell me anything. That's like, okay. And of course he can't. Right? That's the point. That's the point. Because like in giving me an inch, right? He shows God that he's grown. That's the point. Right? He cannot, he's so stubborn. Right? That's what I'm saying. He needs to blow his brains out. Right? That's like, if he can't see how passionate they are about this and how much they wanted to go to me immediately, and say, we see how talented you are. We really appreciate you writing, right? Quentin, you know, he's embarrassed to talk about it, but this is like what he wants. Like, would you be willing? I know it's a lot, and like you seem like, man, I don't know, like what your deal is like with women, but like maybe like you would be okay with like doing this. You see what I'm saying, right? That it was like sweet and loving, and they were like ready to seduce me and like make me feel good about it being them, you know, and therefore feel good about themselves for doing the film. That's the point, right? And so, right, if you support women's rights, consider buying me a one-way ticket to Los Angeles, right? Consider helping me file suit, $3,000, however much, right? And we'll get paid. I'll get paid, 100%. Whomever helps. So, God bless.